They only told me to go to the police department and let them help me further. I have been in contact with the embassy in Tijuana. They have a report. They also require that I get a police report of a missing person from Las Vegas, Nevada's police department. I've done that and I sent that over by email. Today is Saturday, so the FBI is closed. The State Department is closed. Las Vegas Police Department, they state that they can't do anything because this is out of their jurisdiction. It's completely understandable. This is something that's taken place in Mexico. I have not had any contact with Zailey since January the 12th. I don't have any proof of life. This is urgent. Your call to action is as follows. There will be a host of telephone numbers and names that I need you guys to contact immediately, consistently, back to back. Share this video far and wide. Tag anybody that has a social media following, even if they don't. Tag any major news stations. Thank you. The first one is Dina Titus, former Congresswoman, 702-220-9823. Yes, I'm reading. Dina Renetti, Las Vegas Township. Senator Catherine Cortez Masto. She's a U.S. Senator. 702-388-5020. Blow her phone up. Dr. Lawrence Weekly. He's a former Clark County Commissioner. Fabian Donate. 775-684-1427. Lastly, Melanie Scheibel. 775-684-1421. That's my official call to action. If you have any questions, feel free to inbox me or email me at info@maybellvegas.com.
Since then, no one has known the whereabouts of the 21-year-old, originally from Las Vegas, Nevada. On January 19th, the agent of the Public Ministry of the Baja California State Prosecutor's Office, Mario Alberto Rodriguez Garcia, received a complaint for the crime of forced disappearance to the detriment of Ricardo de la Torre and Zailey Unidad Flores. Due to this situation, the FBI in Las Vegas issued a search file for Zailey Unidad Flores since January 31st, requesting that if anyone knew of her, they could contact the FBI or the U.S. Embassy. As far as is known, the young woman had entered Mexico aboard a Jeep truck, accompanied by her partner, Ricardo de la Torre. Later, he claimed they had an argument. He returned to California and Zailey stayed in Tijuana. But a person who said he had the young woman safe and sound requested $500 in exchange for handing her over, requesting a deposit in the name of Nelly Itzel Nava Cortez.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, look. I was calling because of David, yeah. It's because I got a lot of stuff on here from old boys. Okay, we have him. We just found him right on this side.
Y'all
You
just
know,
y'all just found her?
what?
Y'all just found her?
I can't hear you. I can barely hear you.
Hold on. Can you hear me now? Hello?
Okay. Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Do you know him? David Sanchez?
Yeah.
He gave us his number. They called him.
You said y'all
He couldn't remember anything. And because he wrecked on a car.
he worked on a car?
Yeah, he got a wreck on the car.
He got in a wreck?
Yeah, in the car. Yeah, he got in a wreck on the car.
And he left Zailey?
Yeah.
And what happened to Zailey? How did you guys get her?
Because we were cursing down there, our curse people, they found him. My boys just found him. In New Orleans, okay? So we help him. We take him to our safety house, you know, we give him some food. He couldn't barely remember anything. So we give him some food and we wait. But he only gave us this number.
Man,
He gave us
listen.
no names, no nothing. Couldn't remember anything. That's how I say.
Listen, that is a very cruel thing to do to someone. And I don't know. There's a lot of deceiving for money that happens from Mexico. They can get even an American on the phone, someone who has a plight, anything. They will try to deceive them, make claims that they've got their loved one right there, just send us $500 type stuff. It happens a lot, unfortunately.
And then, so what about her?
So I just want you to know,
I'm glad she recorded it, though.
are y'all going to take charge of him? So I can just go back and take the picture so y'all can see the weekend? I don't know. They may we can talk about
You say,
how we're going to get back to him.
are you still sending us pictures?
I can take a picture about, I can go to his empty house and take him a picture.
Man, put my baby on the phone is all I want to,
Okay. And so Zailey,
It
so
is
we're looking
heartbreaking,
for a
Chanel.
girl named Zailey. Is that who you have?
I'm young. Hey, I'm looking for a girl named Zailey.
Yeah.
That's what you're looking for?
Yes.
It's cruel. Very cruel.
Yeah, okay. So, he's trying to look for the girl, not a boy. Yeah, we got some,
They playing with her.
the same.
It always takes a third ear
You know what I'm saying? Can you hear me?
in situations like that, too. They're playing with her. Whoever this is probably has nothing to do with what's going on with her.
The girl, like, where is she at? Do y'all not know?
The girl is fine. She's okay.
And put her on the phone.
We already sent some proof of life. I heard.
You already sent proof of life?
I'm saying
Where? Where do you send it?
this is what you're looking for, don't you?
I'm sorry?
This who you are looking for? Haley?
Yeah, Zailey, the girl,
Who are you from Texas?
family member.
See, then they start inquiring in on you and
Yeah, we talked to her mom.
Okay, and so, like, how did y'all even get her? Do you... Cause he said that y'all took her. So how did y'all get her?
So tell me, are y'all going to take charge of her? Because I can't keep him here no more.
Huh?
I can't keep the girl here no more.
Why?
What you mean why? Because she wants to go back, man. What you mean why?
Well, yeah, but like, how did y'all get her in the first place?
Despite this situation, officially, the
listen, you know what it is, right? I really want to jump into the sneak at night portion though, because this is the exclusive part. And Nick got her hands on this exchange, this interaction with Ricardo del Torre, because the question naturally is, where is Zailey, your so-called girlfriend? Where is she? How did you go down to Tijuana? And then the mom didn't even know that they were girlfriend and boyfriend. Like, many fear that she has been sold into human trafficking, everyone. That is the fear here. So I want to
work in Hollywood.
I want to plug in here. So Nick at Night does an exclusive interview with this boyfriend, and hold on.
A little bit more of her timeline of working through this, as well as Ricardo, his timeline of working through this as well. I wanted to know, like when she texted her, exactly what she said, when she spoke to her. Did she try to call her back? Did she try to call the number back? Like there's a lot of unanswered questions about certain things. So I talked to her briefly today. I let her know that I had spoken to Ricardo, and it seemed like after I had spoke to Ricardo, or I told her I spoke to Ricardo, her energy kind of shifted. I really don't know if she kind of got upset that we were speaking to him. I don't know, but I have to do a full balanced story and get all sides. So after, I told her, I said, listen, I'll play to you what Ricardo said, because I even asked Ricardo, what do you want to say to the mom? What do you want to say to Zailey? Things like that. So I wanted to play that for her. She was saying that she didn't have anything nice to say. I was telling her how he wanted the phone number of the person who contacted her. And then she said that she wouldn't give him the number. He had to go through the FBI. So then when I talked to him again, I told him, I'm like, listen, she don't want to give you the number. She said, you got to go through the FBI, blah, blah, blah. So you're going to hear all of that now. Let's get Ricardo's interview queued up and hear what he has to say. He said a lot, the description of what she was wearing. I asked him, what was she wearing at the time? And he said that she had on overalls, Vans, a red jacket, a poncho, and then she had his jacket on top of that. And then she had on a mask. And then, so it was like all of these layers that he said she had on. So it was a lot, but it happened over the course of an hour and some change. And I asked him the same things quite a few times just to get an understanding. Okay, you said this. Okay, let me understand that. So it's a lot of that. So let's get it going. Let's pull it up. Hello.
Ricardo.
Hi,
Hello.
Nite.
Hi.
I'm going to let you guys talk. I'm going to go on mute, okay? This is Diana, but Nick at Night is here. Ricardo is here.
Hello, good morning.
Hi, Ricardo. How are you this morning?
Well, I'm well, thank you.
Oh, okay. Okay, so I heard about this story from TikTok, and I just kind of wanted to hear from you basically what happened.
Okay, well, Zailey and I went to Mexico to look at apartments in Tijuana. We were planning on moving out there and to eventually move over to Guadalajara to be closer to her dad, whom she wanted to, she was constantly in communication with him. And our phones didn't work when we went to Tijuana. We didn't know that. I hadn't been in Tijuana in 20 years, so I had no idea that our service didn't work out there. And when it was starting to get late, like almost nighttime, I was in a rush to get out of there, and I was like asking Zailey, let's go. And
you were okay. I'm gonna pause you. You were in a rush to get out of where?
Out of Mexico, because it was not what I expected when we got there. It was just a lot of police everywhere, and it just seemed like it was like not the place to be after dark.
Okay, so you guys were where in Mexico?
We're in Tijuana downtown, on Revolution Avenue.
Okay,
Whoa,
so
whoa, hold up. Hello. Have any of you ever been to Tijuana? Hello. What are you? Ooh, I'm already of course there's police everywhere. It's Tijuana, man. There's more kidnappings per capita in Tijuana than anywhere else in North America. It is kidnapping capital of North America, of this entire continent, damn near. Generally, Americans should not travel to Tijuana. Pretty sure there is a State Department bulletin. But
we're on
I
Revolution
digress.
Avenue. You guys went to go look for apartments, and then
the person
In
we were going to meet
Tijuana,
with,
y'all.
he never responded to us when we were trying to contact him through Wi-Fi. And
This
we
sounds
looked up some
shady
apartments
already.
on Facebook Marketplace, but it just didn't seem like the place to be. The longer we were there, I was like, let's just get out of here,
What gave you a bad vibe about it?
Just the fact that there was police with their lights on everywhere, on every corner, and it just did not seem like the place I remember from when I went 20 years before,
Okay.
And so we were moving through this crowd, and when I looked back, when I got to the cab, she was nowhere in sight. And I hopped on the cab and
Were you guys
looked for
like
her.
running from somebody or something? Like
No,
you
we were
were-
just trying to get to a cab because the cabs were getting like as soon as we were almost getting to a cab, somebody would jump in there. You know, it's just hectic out there.
okay.
The traffic is hectic.
Wait. Pause. What was going on? Like, what was the crowd for? Like, what?
It's
like
just
you were-
crowded out there, I guess. It's just so much traffic and people there. It's like New York, kind of, but more chaotic.
Okay, so it just was a lot of people on the streets or driving.
On the streets, on sidewalks, and driving.
Okay, so you guys were walking through the crowd,
Mm-hmm.
and then you were trying to make your way to the
A cab.
Cab. Okay, and so there wasn't like a special event going on or anything like that that would
No.
make this
Whoa,
crowd.
hold
No?
up. I'm sorry, but y'all know how this goes. Now, you want to go watch this full version. The link is in the chat. It's pinned in the chat. I'm not even going to do the full video. I just want to lay this out here. The way that he went from A to Z, where he's explaining her disappearance, that sure was quick. I like how she said, hold up. Let's go back to A here. But okay, let's keep listening.
I think it's just like that all the time in there.
You're going to catch a
Okay,
cab.
and so she was walking next to you, and then you guys, okay, finish.
We were close to each other, and then a couple of times she would wander off and like looking at souvenirs and stuff. And I just kept reminding her like stay close to me, you know. And unbeknownst to me, she was not on her meds, and she had left them at home by accident, but she never told me about that. I was asking her if she was taking her meds.
What meds? You're like,
She
okay,
takes,
so yeah, you gotta okay, slow
yeah,
down.
I'm gonna fill you guys in. She takes psychiatric meds for I believe she has schizophrenia. I'm not sure what her diagnosis is, but she's taking lithium and some other medications, you know. And without them, it's caused her problems before, where she ended up in the hospital because she is like non-verbal even to that.
But you decided to take her to Tijuana, though, Ricardo. But you took her down to Tijuana, though. Okay, keep going. The reason why, and I know the mother may absolutely hate to fucking hear this shit, and I get it. I do. But you're probably going to be glad this happened one day.
Well, after a certain amount of time without her meds. So had I known that she was not on her meds, I would have probably been more attentive to, like, you know, holding her hand or something, you know. I thought she was all in her right senses. But when I didn't see her anymore, I panicked and I got in the cab and started driving around the street looking for her, you know. And I couldn't find her, so I had the cab driver just drop me off at the border crossing, which is probably like half a mile away from where we're at. And I went over across the border to get my car, which is parked like right across the border. And I drove back into Mexico with my vehicle, and I started driving around looking for her for like probably 2 hours before I got pulled over by an officer because I was yelling her name out the window everywhere I was driving. And
okay, so that doesn't sound suspicious to any of you. But hey, let's break it on down, shall we? So Ricardo de la Torre, who was with Zailey in Tijuana, they had traveled to Tijuana together. He claims they were looking to rent an apartment in Tijuana. And that when they got there, it was too busy. There were too many police everywhere. It was too much. And they decided to return home. They're walking to a cab together. And somehow she just disappears from his view. And he makes sure to add that she was taking not any kind of meds, but psychiatric medication. And then people wonder why. Is it possible that Zailey was sold into human trafficking, into a human trafficking cartel? Is it possible that a cartel has Zailey and is in possession of Zailey?
an officer pulled me over, and
but apparently he went
ended
back
up stealing my phone
into Mexico
and had me
so
get
he
all the
went
money
back
out of my bank card at the ATM at 7-Eleven at there on Revolution. And after that,
Take note of
I
everything
still
he's saying.
was driving around looking for her, and
7-Eleven,
another officer pulled me over
Revolution.
and trying to shake me down again. And I was and let him know that I was just cleaned out by another officer. And at that point, I started getting a little paranoid about the police there, so I stopped driving around, and I was just sitting in my car trying to see if I spotted her from the car, and I fell asleep.
Did you check to see if she had gone to like any of like the hospitals? Like when you were driving around, did you see if there was any hospitals around there? Maybe she
I wasn't
was at a
thinking in those
hospital?
terms. I was just thinking in terms of maybe she just like was wandering around, like, you know, sightseeing and stuff, and probably even looking for me, you know.
Did you go back to the street that you guys got separated and
Yeah,
ask?
that's why I went, and I was starting asking the police officers there and shopkeepers, because we did shop around there. I bought her a ring and a poncho, and I went to that shop in particular, and then I was going door to door asking around if they seen her, but nobody apparently had saw her. And so the next day, when the sun came up again, I started driving around again for like another 4 hours looking for her and calling her name out, and to no avail. And then I started thinking maybe she crossed over the border already, maybe, you know. And so I went across the border, and I was asking the customs officials in the border crossing if they had seen her. And they were saying that they were not aware of her crossing, and they wouldn't be able to let me know if she had crossed because I wasn't related to her and I wasn't married to her. So I stayed at the border for for the rest of the day until nighttime, and I didn't see her. Started thinking maybe what if she hitched a ride back home, possibly because
She
her
didn't
phone was
have
going straight to
a cell
her phone.
You couldn't
Yeah, her
call
phone.
her?
Not when we were in Mexico, because her phones didn't work in Mexico, and her phone was going straight to voicemail.
Okay, all right, stop, pause. All right,
Yeah.
so her phone was going to voicemail. You couldn't get a hold
Initially,
of her that way.
and then my phone got stolen by the police that night. So I really didn't have any kind of way to get a hold of her after that.
Oh, the police took your phone also?
The Mexican police, yeah, they stole my phone and all the money I had.
Okay, yeah, you did say that. So how did you call her if they took your phone?
Well, before they took my phone, I was calling her, and it was going to voicemail. And when I went over to the U.S. side, so that's when I went back to the Mexico, and I got jacked by the police. When I came across to the American side again, I was waiting for her at the border, and she wasn't crossing around. So I figured maybe she went home. I didn't have any way of verifying that, so I went home just in case she did go home with somebody, like hitch a ride or something. And when I got home is when I realized she didn't take her meds, because I saw her backpack that she left behind with like some of her journals and her medicine in it. And I've tried to file a police report here, a missing person report here when I was in
Where's that? Where's here?
in Los Angeles, California.
Okay, so you're from LA? Is that where you?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're not from Mexico.
No, I was born in Los Angeles, and I was raised in Compton.
Oh, okay.
And Zailey and I live together. She's been living with me since late November.
Okay.
And yeah, so I tried filing a police report here when I was here, because it was just like really just nerve-wracking at the time, where not being able to get a hold of her. And I got an Obama phone when I came out here just to replace my phone, and her phone's still going to voicemail. It's the LAPD wouldn't take the missing persons case because she went missing in Mexico.
Hey, everyone in the
They
chat.
advised me to go back to Mexico and file the report. So I ended up waiting around like a day or two so I could save up some money so I can buy. I bought a phone that was an iPhone that was able to work in Mexico. Well, so when I went out there, I would still be able to communicate, and went to Mexico and filed a missing person report with the state investigators there in Baja.
Okay, so pause.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you guys go to Mexico and you're looking for apartments. What date was that?
This is on the we left on the 10th of January.
Okay. So on the 10th of January, you guys went to go look for apartments. How many days were you guys there?
Well, we went out there, and the first day she didn't want to go into Mexico, so we ended up just getting a hotel in San Diego, in National City at the Roadway Inn, and we went shopping the next day we went to Guitar Center and bought a banjo and harmonica, and we were just hanging out and by the border, and she ended up, just saying that she was, she was down to go out there finally, and so we went to Mexico across walking, and that's how we ended up out there.
So you walked into Mexico?
Mm-hmm. From San Isidro.
Okay. I thought, because I don't know, somebody else said that you guys had just drove straight into Mexico and you didn't.
No.
Okay.
We walked it, and they don't check anything out when you go to Mexico.
Okay. So
and,
you went to where? Sorry.
San Isidro.
Oh, okay, San Isidro. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know where that's at. I'm from Cali. I live not too far from San Diego. When I was younger, we used to always go to TJ, but we would go through San Diego. I don't know what what's
San Isidro is it's the last town before you get into Mexico.
Oh, okay, maybe I wasn't aware of the town I was passing, but yeah, we used to do it when I was younger. So I'm aware, like, there is a place right before the border where you can park your cars. I'm aware of that.
Right. There's outlets and stuff right there.
Yeah. And then along the border when you're walking. Well, when I used to go back in the day, there used to be like little kids like trying to sell you stuff all alongside. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. So you guys go on the 10th. She didn't want to go the first day on the 10th. So on the 11th is when you guys walked into Mexico?
Yeah, we walked into Mexico, and that's the day that she actually disappeared at like around 6:30 in the afternoon.
Oh, okay. So you guys didn't even stay there like a full day. You just walked into Mexico.
We weren't planning on staying out there at all. We were just going to go check out the apartments and see what was up out there,
Okay. So you go walk into Mexico. You see that this isn't a place that you really like. It was was it hood, ghetto, or something? Or
it just seemed the vibe was just kind of creepy with the police activity going on everywhere with the they have the lights on constantly, and it just didn't seem right,
Right.
Okay. And towards the afternoon, like once it was getting a little later, we started noticing like a lot of the shops started like rolling up their doors, and that's probably where the flux of people in the streets happened, from people, I guess, leaving to go home or whatever.
Right, but yet she somehow went missing at 6:30. So I mean, keep that in mind. Are they rolling up their stores at 6:30? I mean, there's definitely some lying going on here, and he's all over the place. And I think that the FBI, they love these types of interviews. I can assure you of that. They absolutely love these.
Okay.
And in that hustle and bustle, that's where she got lost in the mix there.
All right.
The thing I'm tripping on is that there's cameras everywhere there in that area. So there has to be video of what happened with her, where she went and or who she went with.
Okay.
There has to be.
So this was you guys were dating, right? This was your girlfriend?
We were dating. Yeah, we actually had already discussed getting married and stuff. We already made some plans and shit, and we were trying to meet her parents before we went out there. We reached out to her mom quite a few times, but her mom would never respond to her. And her dad, we were just gonna go out there and catch him by surprise, I guess. I don't know if she had told him that we were living together. I don't know what else they discussed. I don't even know his name.
Hold on one second. Anna, can you put your thing on mute because it's interference?
I'm sorry.
Okay. You said that you guys had plans on even getting married. You guys were gonna get married, and you wanted to meet the family first.
Yeah, and we were planning on just getting some country property out there in Mexico and having a ranch and just making a family out there,
Oh, okay. So why were you guys looking at apartments if you were?
Well, we were gonna go to the apartment first, and then in the meanwhile find a piece of property to buy and shit. When we're out there. That was like the plan.
Okay. How long were you guys together for?
Since November. Not too long, but it was just uncanny. Just the stuff that we had so much in common, and so much like
See, it be things like that. Those short term type relationships like that. I mean, you can't help but to question and wonder to yourself, what is Ricardo's background with previous women and previous relationships, and have any ever went missing in Tijuana? Is it possible that he sold her into human trafficking? I mean, that really is the big question here, isn't it? What a strange interview, but a good one nonetheless. Shout out to Nite for grabbing this one. I bet you will see this on some much bigger blogs in the next coming days, because this story is blowing up. Where is Zailey Flores? Is the question.
Or valleys and
Where
everything were
is
just
Zailey?
all enmeshed with each other. I've
Oh,
never met
okay.
anybody. I never ever met anyone ever that's brought me peace like she has, and was able to just if I'm over here snapping at traffic, she'd be able to just bust out a Bible verse and really bring me back to reality.
Oh, okay, okay. I see. So you guys really bonded like really quickly, and things. How did you guys?
I want you to hear this other portion, all right, because that's the unfortunate thing is, when Ricardo's out here, he's telling his side of the story. Here's the other part. This is coming from the mom, right? She says that Zailey, when she reached out to her, that she was in grave danger after she had called her mom from Tijuana, and she said that she was going to die. Apparently, this 21-year-old woman told her mother that she may be in grave danger. She told her mother on the phone that she was in Tijuana and that she was going to die. Last heard from on January 12th. She has ties to Detroit, Michigan, Maricopa County, Tucson, Phoenix, Laveen, and Marana, Arizona, Slauson Avenue and Skid Row areas of Los Angeles, California, Vegas, and Reno, Nevada, as well as Idaho. But somehow, Ricardo and Zailey gets split up in a crowd. He ends up back in Los Angeles. Zailey somehow still missing. Distinguishing factors that the FBI has revealed that they hope will lead to finding her: scars on her left arm and hand, as well as her right wrist, with scars on her palms. This is per the FBI. Some cigarette burn marks on much of her left and right shins. Her mother has also went on to say that her daughter sounded incoherent almost the last time they spoke. And the family began receiving these random messages through social media for very low ransoms. And I think that's what we seen, in the beginning there with that call that was made. I think that was some people definitely toying with her. The story that they traveled to Tijuana to look at apartments before she started acting strange and then suddenly disappearing. I mean, why go to Tijuana in the first place, really, though? I mean, you had to have known how rough Tijuana was before going there in there's police everywhere and y'all didn't even stay a single night. That's suspect as fuck. I'm not saying that it's couldn't happen, but it is suspect. It's very, very suspect. Then you're traveling back over the border. Then you're going back into Mexico for 4 more hours. Looking for phones ain't working in Mexico. I mean, between two people, a 43-year-old and a 21-year-old, they didn't know their phones weren't going to work when they got to Tijuana. They didn't know they have to have like an international plan on the line. Like, if it's a cash type of phone, it probably won't work. Gonna have to buy a phone in Tijuana. And now this woman who possibly does have some issues, which, is now missing in one of the scariest places in North America. Very dangerous in Tijuana. Again, that we do have an embassy in Tijuana. The FBI is currently involved in the case. And although the mother says that she has pulled dramatic stunts in the past, this situation seemed a little bit more extreme, and that she does understand that her daughter has a history, that may not be pleasant to some. I mean, shit. It is what it is. It doesn't take away from the fact that this 21-year-old woman is missing. And so that interview, very mysterious to me, to say the least. Very strange. I question a lot of what is being said. And why run to Nite at night? I mean, I understand she's a large vlogger. I get that. I'm talking about why run to a vlogger, period. What was his ultimate motivation in it all? I mean, man, I'm telling you, man, that clout chasing thing, that whole clout thing, it's a drug for real, isn't it? Good or bad. Good or bad. I put a link to the video, the full video, in the description. It is also pinned in the live chat and will be in the live chat depending on what platform you are watching this on the Facebook platform and the Twitter platform. Shout out to the Crime and Investigations channel, and shout out to you Facebookers. You guys have been pretty active today. Coming up here in just a few minutes, actually, my last live for the day. I was trying to actually plug this in my last one, but the music was too damn loud. My bad on that. This is a new way of operating. Shout out to my subbies who hooked a bitch up, okay? And a MacBook operates a little bit differently from a Windows device. So the background music, I have to do it a little differently. So kind of new to it, but we got it. But we're going to be talking about Antarctica, underground bases, labs, super soldier labs in Antarctica. Something that is considered an above top secret project. We're talking about legit super soldiers that are being genetically modified, humanoids, to have all sorts of special, blessings, so to speak, like things such as maybe their bodies form a certain type of armor on it, or they can handle extreme elements like extreme heat, extreme cold. It's very fascinating stuff, and it's high class warfare that every single government in this world wants their hands on, including the United States of America. Don't ever underestimate that. If they could have their hands on a genetically modified humanoid super soldier that could shoot 1,000 rounds a minute, that could, beat against all of the elements, wind, rain, snow, sleet is no issue, that sort of a thing, that's some real high, that's some deep warfare type of activity. And it is no secret that there are multiple labs around the world that genetically modify the human DNA genome, and they mix it. And you get all these weird creatures, these hybrid, these what we call cryptid creatures. But there's no question that, the genetic modifying of human beings is absolutely happening around the world. And a lot of times it's not even, it's happening in places where there are no laws that could. What laws are you going to apply in Antarctica? What justice system are you going to bring these scientists in front of? Imagine planes of scientists going down to Antarctica, staying for months, sometimes years at a time, doing these top secret projects. A lot of very interesting stuff goes on in Antarctica. Hey there, Aisha, how are you? Hey there. No, they have not found her yet, Messiah. No, they have not. So yes, I will be doing that coming up next. We will be listening to a firsthand account of a scientist who witnessed one of these genetically modified humanoid super soldiers. So I will be back for that. You might want to keep your notifications buzzed because I think I've been live 3 times already today and I don't think I'll get another notification. So just know that it will be probably in the next 10 minutes or so. But yeah. Before we get up out of here, though, before we end this live, just know I will keep my eyes on this case and we'll keep pressing forward, guys. Allow me to just run my commercial really quickly. Shout out to the Leak U community. Please join us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and Amazon Music.
Please hit the like. Thank you.
All right, guys. Yeah. Much appreciation to everyone who came through. I will see y'all in just a few minutes where we'll continue this conversation. Bye, guys.